Today we are going to see an amazing movie released in 2025 called Ziam. It is basically a zombie survival movie that was released just a few days ago. Although it is a zombie movie, the whole story of this movie is so emotional and interesting that the movie has gone viral in just a few days and is currently trending on Netflix. So, finally, we have brought you this amazing zombie movie. If you are a zombie movie lover, then this movie is going to take a place in your favorite list. So let's take a look at the story of a terrible zombie city. So the story starts in the future world. The time was 2035. At that time, global warming in the world had increased a lot because at that time people had become very dependent on technology. And due to the use of various types of technological devices in people's daily lives, everything gradually had a very bad effect on nature. And the temperature of the world increased and the ice of the Himalayas also started melting. This is how a huge change was seen in the whole world. As you can see, various types of viruses and epidemics started coming to the world. As a result, the situation in the world became so bad that people on Earth started dying slowly. Due to this, the world's population decreased completely in a very short time. The normal life of people was completely destroyed. There were many food crises in the whole world. Even a poisonous gas spread throughout the world. As a result, the fish and all marine animals in the sea died, and due to the effect of all this, there was a famine in the world once. In that famine, many people died of extreme hunger, and now people are somehow living their lives. But currently, the people of those countries that were somewhat dependent on agriculture were able to provide some food. For example, the people of Thailand and Indonesia are still doing surveys because there was a lot of agricultural land in their country. People were somehow living their lives by cultivating it. So now, for the safety of their country, the government of Thailand cut off all their communication with other countries so that whatever crops were being cultivated in their country were only useful for the people of their country. And as a result of this government action, Thailand is still surviving 10 years after the disaster. This time we see a boy at a seaport in Thailand. He was taking various goods from the port to a truck for delivery. And on the way, he was thinking about his wife's ring. Because when the world was completely normal, he and his wife were living happily. But after the pandemic spread in the world, both of them became busy with their own work. Because now the price of everything, including food, was so high that if they did not work all day, they would die of hunger. So, Singh chose delivery work to make a living. And Singh does delivery work with his friend Johnny, because most of the time he delivers food products. However, although crops are still grown in Indonesia, but now people had no work, so the rich could eat as much food as they wanted. On the other hand, the poor people were hungry. That is why there is a lot of risk in doing food delivery work, because at any time, anyone can attack them and take the food, so they have to be very careful. So when Song came to a very distant road with his delivery, they fell into a trap by a group of thieves. Song then cleverly got out of his car and hid. Then when those thieves came to steal their goods, he started hitting Song from behind. Due to this, Song started a fierce fight with them. Johnny also came to help Song in the fight, because the number of members of these thieves was very large. But here, looking at Song's fighting skills, it was clear that Song was a fighter. Actually, when the world was completely normal, Song was a champion of Muay, so his fighting skills were very good. That's why he could fight with the thieves very easily, and because of his fighting skills, he chose that dangerous job, because he gets a pretty good salary in this delivery job. So here, Johnny and Song together kill all the thieves and make their situation worse, and they reach a safe place with their goods. On the other hand, we see a girl named Ring. Ring was sitting alone in her house, and this Ring was actually Song's wife. Ring does not want Song to do such dangerous work, so she is always worried about Song until Song returns home. On the other hand, when Song and Johnny bring the goods to their boss gets very angry with them because one of the goods was broken, so the boss deducts money from their salary and asks them to take that carrot. Now they are forced to keep those carrots. There was actually a special type of fish in the carrots, which are mainly eaten by the rich people of the city now. So Johnny was very happy to get the fish, because for almost 10 years they could not eat any good fish and meat. Johnny then gives half of the fish to Song. On the other hand, we see that person, the one to whom the remaining carrot fish were delivered. His name is Park, and he invited many famous people in the city today. So he said to everyone here, "You must know Mr. Basu, who is the richest man in our country. His wife has cancer, and he has found something through research with his money, with which his wife will be completely cured. And that is a special fish. Although all the fish in the sea have died, but these fish are a special fish, which are very expensive, and the fish are absolutely pure. These fish have the power to cure many diseases. So today I have arranged this fish for you." Then the fish was served in front of all of them. Everyone was quite impressed by the fish. Then they all started eating those fish one by one. However, when Park finished eating one piece of fish, blood started flowing from his mouth, and he was rushed to the hospital. On the other hand, we see Song when Song returns home and Ring sees the injury marks on his body. He gets very upset. He then starts dressing Song's cut area, and he gets very upset and says to Song, "How many times will I tell you that you don't have to suffer so much? Why are you doing such a risky job where you have to fight to survive all the time? You have to come home injured like this? Have you ever thought about how I feel seeing you getting injured all the time? You are working so risky for me, right? One day you will see that I may have disappeared from your life." Song then tries to convince Ring. He makes her understand how important this job of his is for them. But just then a car comes in front of Song's house, and this car has come to take Ring. Ring actually works in a big hospital in their city. She is a skilled nurse there. So Ring immediately got into the hospital car without saying anything, where one of his colleagues, Jali, was with him. And his son, Jason. Jason liked Ring very much. He used to come to the hospital every day with his mother and spend time with Ring. Jali, seeing Ring's upset, said, "You had a fight with Song today, too, didn't you?" He would ask, "What happened? Did Song get beaten up again? Did you manage to convince Song today?" Ring said, "Everything is the same as before." No matter how much he tried to explain, Song didn't seem to understand him. Jali then told him, "Actually, Song is not at fault here. He doesn't have any work options, so even if he wanted to, he couldn't leave this job. I understand his situation. When our backs hit the wall, we were ready to do anything." So in a short time, they reached their hospital. Actually, this was the biggest hospital in the city, where rich and poor people were treated all the time. Now Ring entered the hospital and started his work. He started checking all the patients, and Jason started making fun of him. Then Ring was preparing for an operation. But at that moment, a very big doctor of the hospital came there. The doctor then told Ring that he has to go with him now. But Ring then told him that they have an emergency operation where he has to give directions. It is very important. But the doctor then told him, "Which one is urgent now, I will know from you. There is something more important for you, so come with me right away." Ring then started going to the upper floor with the doctor. And when he came to their hospital, Mr. Basu had brought his wife, who had cancer. And suddenly she became very sick today, so she has to be given emergency treatment as a VIP. Now when Ring was going to Mr. Basu's ward, he saw that person named Park there, who was being taken for emergency surgery. He was behaving very strangely here, and blood was flowing from her mouth. So he was quickly taken to the operation theater and given oxygen. The doctors were trying hard to fix her. But within a short time, her condition got very bad. It is seen that a lot of blood starts coming out of his mouth, and he starts screaming very loudly there. In this way, he dies there in a short while. So a nurse was turning off everything there and leaving, but suddenly it is seen that the Park comes to life, and he immediately turns into a terrible zombie. On the other hand, he is talking to the debt and that doctor, Mr. Basu. Meanwhile, his wife's condition is also slowly getting worse, but no one pays much attention to that. Here, Mr. Basu tells them that he ordered a special fish for his wife today, which was very expensive. He even got a medical team to do research on that fish. He came to know that this fish prevents cancer, so he fed it to his wife. But shortly after eating this fish, his wife's condition worsened. Suddenly, blood started coming out of her mouth. The doctor then consoled him and said that they will definitely try to fix his wife. With that, they came out of there. But at that time, they see that several people were running in the hospital. Ring is very scared, and he goes a little further and sees that the patient named Park, whom he saw a while ago, he has suddenly turned into a terrible zombie, and he is attacking everyone one by one. This makes everyone in the hospital very scared. On the other hand, we see Song, who is missing Ring a lot, so he is here. He was looking at a picture of him and Ring that he had bought from their childhood, meaning that they had grown up together since childhood. Meanwhile, an announcement was made from the hospital which Song could hear sitting at home. The announcement was saying that an emergency has been declared at Prachamat Hospital. A terrible virus has spread inside the hospital, and now a disaster team is working to control the situation, and the entire hospital has now been sealed. Now the people inside the hospital will not be able to leave, and no one from outside will be able to enter the hospital. Otherwise, the virus will spread everywhere. Hearing this, Song got scared, and he immediately ran towards that hospital. Meanwhile, it was seen that neither Song nor Ring ate the fish because Ring was on duty. That means they were still safe. Now Song quickly ran in front of that hospital, and he saw that many people had gathered in the hospital, because some people have patients here. Some people have their own people working here, so everyone was very worried about their own people. Now Song went a little further and saw that the area in front of the hospital was closed, and no one could enter from there because the guards were protecting that area. So many people were requesting them to let them in once. Otherwise, they would throw their patients or their close people out. At this stage of the video, everybody know one stuff, but the guards did not want to listen to anything they said. Meanwhile, miking was being done from the hospital, and it was being said that everyone should calm down.
If you create chaos in front of the hospital, it will become difficult for us to control the situation. So we need your cooperation now. None of you should try to forcefully enter the hospital. This may lead to more terrible dangers ahead, so wait patiently. However, Song was looking for an opportunity to enter the hospital somehow, but at that moment, a nurse suddenly fell straight down from the top of the hospital. Seeing this, some soldiers there went to save her, and the nurse immediately attacked them, because she had already turned into a zombie. That zombie then started attacking the soldiers one by one. As a result, a soldier shot her and killed her, but by then she had already infected a soldier. Even the soldiers could not control the people and started shooting there. As a result, people started running away from there to save themselves. Meanwhile, Song wants to use this opportunity. He takes advantage of this trouble between the soldiers and the people and slowly enters the hospital somehow, where a security guard was trying to control everything and he was telling everyone to stay calm, but by then, many patients in the hospital had turned into zombies. So just then, a zombie came there, and that zombie immediately attacked that guard. On the other hand, all the zombies who were in different places on the floors were also attacking people one by one. As a result, the situation in the entire hospital lost its control, and there was screaming and blood everywhere, and everyone was trying to save their lives. Meanwhile, we see Ring, who somehow locked himself in a room in the hospital. On the other hand, Song was looking for Ring like crazy. However, he couldn't find Song anywhere, so he went straight to the hospital's podcast room where there was a microphone, to which all the speakers in the hospital were connected. Song then told Ring through that microphone, "Ring, wherever you are, you just save yourself. I came to take you." Although Song had no contact with Ring, but Ring overheard everything Song said. This made him even more worried about Song. Meanwhile, Ring was with another old man. Ring then told the man that he would go out now and take a look at the situation. If there was a situation to escape from here, he would take him out of here. The man was very happy with him. Then, Ring slowly came out. The surrounding situation was completely quiet, but after a while, a zombie attacked Ring. But Ring somehow managed to get his hands on it. On the other hand, we see Song. As soon as Song leaves the podcast room, a zombie attacks him. But since Song was a Muay Thai champion, the strong zombies did not grow with him. Song keeps killing zombies one by one, and he keeps looking for his wife, Ring. On the other hand, we see that little kid named Jason,
who was the son of Zhao. Jason was also being chased by a zombie. Jason started screaming in fear, and Song hears his screams. Song then quickly comes there and starts killing that zombie, and he somehow saves Jason. Then Jason tells Song, "My mother is a nurse at the hospital. Will you help me find my mother?" But Song had no time at all. So Song then tells Jason, "Do you know a nurse named Ring?" Jason then tells him, "We are best friends. I know her. Let's find them together." Song also felt very good about finding Jason, because if he finds his mother with Jason, he will know about the ring from him. So he takes Jason with him. Meanwhile, we see a little girl who was looking for her mother in this and that part of the hospital. And here we see that there are many dead bodies lying around the hospital. Maybe they will also turn into zombies in a while. That is, now the situation in the hospital has become much worse. On the other hand, some people from the government were having a meeting. They were deciding what they would do to cover up this virus. And by now, they all realized how seriously this virus was spreading. So they decided here that they would seal the entire hospital right now. They would not even let any people from inside the hospital come out, because this could spread the virus to the entire city. Now, the only way to escape from all this is to blast the entire hospital in a short time. There is no time to see who lives or dies, because for a few people, they cannot put the people of the entire country at risk. After a while, it is seen that the soldiers are shooting and killing all the people who were trying to escape from the hospital from a distance. They are even setting time bombs around the hospital. On the other hand, Ring is trying hard to find Song, but there are so many zombies around that Ring is not able to go anywhere properly. But just then, an idea comes to Ring's head. He decides to go to the security room where the CCTV footage shows the entire hospital. But the security room is locked and the security guard has now completely turned into a zombie. Ring sees the key to the security room near him. He carefully approaches him and takes the key from him, but the zombie is about to attack him. Ring somehow enters the security room and locks the door, and he checks the CCTV footage. But here he sees that there are zombies in every corner of the hospital, but he can't see Song anywhere. So he changes the camera and tries to find Song. At that time, he sees in a footage that Mr. Basu is still alive. On the other hand, we see Song and Jason. Jason comes to his mother's office room with Song, where there was a board. And seeing that boat, Jason tells Song that Ring and his mother are on the 5th floor because their schedule is there today. So they go out to go to the 5th floor, but at that moment, a zombie suddenly falls down, which makes Jason laugh.
And all the zombies around come towards them with the sound of his laughter. Song then somehow takes Jason into a room and they lock the door there, but the zombies are trying to break the door there. Meanwhile, in the room they entered, there was a patient and his son. That boy was saying to himself, "There is no way to survive here now, and I will not be able to attack any human being as a zombie." Then he tells his father, "I love you very much, father." With this, he kills his father, and he himself ends up there, which makes Song feel very bad. Meanwhile, by that time, the zombies have broken half of the door there. So Song then asks Jason to follow him. There was an iron tower to go up in the back. Song and Jason then started climbing up that tower. Meanwhile, all the zombies came there and started eating the bodies, which were father and son. Meanwhile, Song had gone up a lot, but at that time, a zombie grabbed Jason's leg and scared Jason a lot. Although he somehow managed to free his leg, but in a while, he was following, but just then Song came and caught him, and he lifted Jason up and pulled him to his chest. Then they went to the 5th floor through that tower, and they saw that there were a lot of zombies on the 5th floor too, but Song forbade Jason to make any noise at all. Then they slowly started moving forward. After a while, Jason went to the newborn ward and saw his mother, Zhao Li, there. Both mother and son were very happy and hugged each other. However, Zhao Li was very busy here. He then took out an inhaler and gave it to Jason, and he was on time. Jason is told to take his inhaler and then tells Zhao Li Song that today Jason's responsibility is to take care of Jason. And he also tells Song that Ring is in the emergency ward on the floor. Song doesn't understand that Zhao Li is now infected with the zombie virus, so he quickly tries to escape from there with Jason. But Jason doesn't want to leave his mother. He cries and cries for his mother. When Song tries to force him to take her, he bites Song's hand and goes back to his mother. But by then, his mother has locked herself in a room, and she has now completely turned into a zombie. Jason could not kill such a terrible form of his mother. Meanwhile, Song brings a cloth there and ties Jason to his back, and as a result of Jason's crying, many zombies come there. Song somehow fights with the zombies and escapes from that place. On the other hand, we see Ring. Zombies are roaming around the entire place where Ring was now. So he went straight to the room where Mr. Basu was. Ring was begging Mr. Basu to open the door. Mr. Basu then opened the door, and Ring somehow took shelter there with him, because he knew that this was the most secure room in the entire hospital, because it was made for Mr. Basu and his wife as a VIP. But still, Ring was very scared. He then told Mr. Basu, "How will we escape from here?" Mr. Basu then told him that you don't have to do anything. You just stay here.
People will come to rescue us. Then it is seen that when the government officer comes to know that Mr. Basu and his wife are still in the hospital, he orders his team members that no matter what happens, Mr. Basu and his wife must be saved. Because Mr. Basu is a very good person, and with his money, the economy of their country is running. He even helped crores of people by feeding them during the famine. On the other hand, Mr. Basu takes Ring to show his wife because Ring was a nurse. Mr. Basu then shows Ring a blood bag and says that his wife's condition has become very bad today. But later, after giving her blood, she has recovered a lot. However, she was supposed to be given more blood. But before that, the whole situation changed. At one time, I did a lot for the people of this country. But look at my fate. Today, I am unable to do anything for my wife. Can you bring blood for my wife? I used to go to bring blood myself, but I don't know the places of the hospital properly, but I don't know where the blood is in the hospital.
Please save my wife. Although she was very scared to go outside the ring, she had a duty as a nurse. She couldn't let a person die like this.
So she agreed to bring blood. Then she came out of the VIP room very carefully, but zombies were standing everywhere. But within a short time, Ring understood the movements of the zombies. So she walked slowly without making any noise. And whenever the zombies came to attack her, she hid herself in some room. Meanwhile, Song and Jason were also slowly coming forward. Song took a stick in his hand to kill the zombies, and after coming some distance, Song found a chain there, which belonged to his wife, Ring. Song realizes that Ring is around here, so Song feels a special courage come to him. He then shouts and calls all the zombies to him, and he starts killing the zombies one by one. On the other hand, it is seen that a special force of soldiers has entered the hospital. They have come to rescue Mr. Basu and his wife. They start shooting the zombies one by one, and slowly they move towards the 5th floor. Then they somehow reach Mr. Baisu's room. They start giving blood to Mr. Baisu's wife in an emergency and start taking them from the hospital by guarding them from all sides. On the other hand, whenever Song moves forward a little while killing the zombies, he sees Ring behind the glass of a room. Both he and Ring are very happy to take them, but their happiness did not last long, because a zombie was about to attack Ring. However, Jason quickly entered Ray's room, through a small gap in that room, and he somehow resisted the zombie with a fire-extinguishing shirt. At that time, a zombie came to attack Jason. Meanwhile, Ring was hiding in a place. But just at that time, a huge zombie was seen coming towards him. Ring was very scared. And in a while, the zombie was about to jump on him, but just then Song came from behind and kept hitting the zombie. He was hitting the zombie like crazy, so Ring hugged Song from behind and told him to calm down. When he saw Song alive, he became very emotional. They both hugged each other and started crying. On the other hand, when the soldiers were taking Mr. Basu and his wife, the zombies were attacking them repeatedly. At one point, a zombie attacked a soldier, resulting in the soldier being infected. Now, when the situation calmed down a bit, Mr. Basu, he tells the soldiers that he can't take his wife like this. To save his wife, they need a nurse who can give her proper treatment. So Mr. Basu takes the soldiers to find Ring. Meanwhile, when Ring sees the soldiers' team there, he is very happy and tells Song that now they can go out. Song first goes to check the matter, but as soon as he comes out, a soldier shoots him. Ring then runs and starts crying for Song. Meanwhile, the soldiers say that they have found the nurse. That's why they wanted to drag Ring from there. But Ring didn't want to leave Song here and go. Even then, they dragged Ring away. They had no regrets about shooting a healthy person. They weren't even worried about a small child like Jasun. They were only thinking about their mission, and seeing Ring fighting like that, Song got very angry. He stood up there even though it was very difficult, and he asked the soldiers to let Ring go, but when none of them listened to him, he started fighting with Song. Meanwhile, at the sound of their fight, zombies also started coming there. Song then started killing the soldiers along with the zombies. Meanwhile, it was seen that the leader of the soldiers was a very strong man, so Song was having a hard time fighting with him. Moreover, since Song was shot, his physical condition was not very good, so that soldier then climbed on top of Song and started hitting him very hard. He was hitting him repeatedly in the place where he was shot. Then he strangled him and killed him there. But just then, a zombie came there and attacked him and let go of Song. Song regained his strength again. He was fighting with the soldier at full speed. Then he kicked the soldier very hard. As a result, the soldier fell to the ground, and just then a zombie came and attacked him. Meanwhile, Song's condition became very bad. Song had no consciousness of his own. It was seen that someone was dragging him away from that place, and Song could see flashbacks of his past here, where he had spent a very beautiful life with his wife Ring. There was no lack of happiness in his life because Ring and he loved each other very much from the beginning. Now, after a while, when Song regained consciousness, he saw that Ring had treated him. Since Ring was a nurse, she easily removed the bullet from Song's body. However, even though Song himself was sick, he asked Ring, "Are you okay, Ring?" Ring got very emotional and said to Song, "Why do you always risk your life for me like this? Do you know how guilty I feel for this? And how did you find me?" Song then sat up there and showed Ring his locket, through which he found that ring. That locket was a ring. Song then put the ring on Ring, and they hugged each other. On the other hand, all the soldiers who came to rescue Mr. Basu one by one got infected with the zombie virus. So now the plan was going on to blast the entire hospital. Meanwhile, Jason heard a sound from outside, and when he went to check it, he saw that the soldier had now turned into a very scary zombie, and that soldier was trying to attack them. Song then asked both of them to calm down. Then he cleverly took that soldier to a lab room, and after a while he poured acid on that soldier. As a result, it was seen that the soldier's body caught fire and he died there, and the fire slowly started spreading around. But Ring and Song were completely calm, because they knew that this hospital had the most advanced fire extinguishing system. As a result, it was seen that water started falling automatically everywhere. As a result, the fire was extinguished in a short time. But a terrible incident happened here. That is, when the water to extinguish the fire was falling on the zombies, it was seen that all the zombies that had been shot and killed were coming back to life twice as strong. They were even stronger and more terrible than before. Meanwhile, Song was preparing to leave the hospital with Ring and Jason. However, after going a little far, they saw Mr. Basu there. Mr. Basu was standing in front of his wife. Ring then told Mr. Basu that we have to escape from this place immediately, but Mr. Basu did not want to leave his wife and go anywhere. Meanwhile, due to the water falling on his wife, she is also turning into a zombie because she was already infected. However, when he saw his wife open her eyes, Mr. Basu went to her and he knowingly let his wife bite him, due to which he himself got infected with the virus. Meanwhile, those terrible zombies were coming there. So Song took Ring and Jason and started running away from there, but at that time they saw that the zombies were tearing Mr. Basu apart. They got scared and somehow left that place. But now all the zombies in the hospital had come alive, so within a short time, a large number of zombies started coming towards them. Song then started fighting with the zombies to save Ring and Jason. Meanwhile, a helicopter team Mr. Weil waiting for Basu. Song was surrounded by zombies from all sides. So Song then gestured to Ring to go to the hospital roof, because he knew that some team was waiting for Mr. Basu on the roof. Another soldier saw them and thought they were infected, and was about to shoot them. But Ring shouted that they were not infected. They were still completely healthy, so that soldier then let them come to them, and checked them and found that they were indeed not infected. So the soldier wanted to take them to the helicopter, but Ring and Jason told the soldier that there was another healthy person inside the hospital who would be here in a while, so they should wait for him. Although the soldier didn't want to agree at first, after many requests from Ring, he wanted to wait for 5 minutes, and he took them both to the helicopter first. Meanwhile, the soldiers were informed from the main office that Mr. Basu and his wife were not alive, and the zombies have also become much stronger now, so they can come to the city at any time. Therefore, the government has ordered to detonate the bomb as soon as possible. On the other hand, while fighting with Song's zombies, so many zombies came there that Song then entered a car to save himself. But all the zombies were completely hungry for that car, and those zombies were so strong that they were completely destroying the car. Song was trying hard to escape from them. Meanwhile, there was a bomb that the soldiers' special forces came, and the bomb exploded there in a short time, causing all the zombies to fall out of the car and their bodies to be torn apart. But fortunately, Song survived. On the other hand, the soldiers in the helicopter wanted to leave the place quickly because a time bomb had been set in the entire hospital, and the bomb would explode in a short time. But Ring repeatedly requested them to wait a little longer. However, the soldiers immediately closed the helicopter door. On the other hand, it was seen that the bomb explosion caused a much bigger danger, because at the sound of this explosion, all the zombies that were around the hospital ran to that place, and it was not possible for Song to fight with so many zombies alone. Meanwhile, the helicopter was about to leave, but at that moment, Ring looked outside and saw that Sangmat had run to the roof and closed the door there as if Ring could regain his life. Meanwhile, there were only a few seconds left for the bombs in the hospital to explode, so he released the helicopter right then and there. Meanwhile, those zombies had broken the door in such a way that the zombies would come here in just a few seconds. So, despite Ring's many requests and cries, the soldiers somehow managed to lower the helicopter down. And there was a logic behind their action because as soon as they lowered the helicopter down and went to rescue Song, the bombs would explode completely, and even the zombies would attack them. So the helicopter was moving slowly, and Ring was looking at Sang helplessly. Meanwhile, Sang realized that he had no other way to survive, so he came forward from behind to take a good look at Sang for the last time. Although tears were visible in his eyes, there was a smile of peace on his face because he had taken on this responsibility. He entered the hospital thinking that he would save his love at any cost, and he finally managed to do it. There is no greater achievement than this, for his loved one is now safe. Now it is seen that the zombies have completely broken the roof door, and one by one all the zombies were going to enter the roof and attack Song. But Song started fighting with them, and in just a few seconds the entire building was completely destroyed. Before Ring's eyes, the entire hospital was reduced to dust. Along with the zombies, his loved one also died there. Both Ring and Jason were a lot of work for Song, but now they had no choice but to accept the reality. Almost several months have passed after this incident. In the present, we see Ring. Ring is now spending her life with Jason, and she was looking at the ring that Song gave her and thinking that she will live with Song's memory for the rest of her life. So the story ends here with such a heart-touching ending. So how did you like today's story? And don't forget to let me know in the comments if you want to see more stories like this in the future. See you in the next new video. Until then, everyone stay well and healthy.